Hey everybody, it's Trainer Amanda here and I am back for another Training Tip Tuesday. So today's training tip is going to be how to desensitize your dog from having its nails trimmed and or dremeled and or touched. So the biggest thing is that our dogs don't like having their paws touched, okay? Their paws are their, main way of transportation. So a lot of people don't like having their feet touched, and our dogs are very much the same. As you just saw, Sandor pulled his little toe away from me, and I get that. But at the same time, nail health is very important with the dog, because if you don't make sure that your dog's nails are trimmed back, it can actually affect the way they walk, and then it can affect them as they get older. So we have to make sure that, number one, these guys are comfortable with their feet being touched. So the first thing you don't want to do is if you're trying to get your dog to be desensitized to having their nails trimmed and or touched or anything done with them, don't turn touching their feet into a game. Okay, it's very cute when it's puppies because you touch their foot and all of a sudden they'll break their hands out and be turned into a big game. Like, oh, I'm gonna get your feet, I'm gonna get your feet. Don't do that. When you wanna touch a dog's feet, you just simply touch them very quickly. Just a simple glance, like simple little touch will do, and then you let go. Good job. And you say good job. That's it. So I'm gonna do it again and grab his toe. Good job. I held on for a little bit longer there. Yeah, I know. Let me turn the camera. Oh, you're gonna move it this way. Okay. Okay, I grabbed his little toe again. He's like, don't touch him, Mom. Grabbed his toe again. Now, I'm not turning this into a game. I'm not batting him away. Let me turn the camera a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better, because he keeps on rolling. I'm not turning it into a big old game for him. See? I'm not trying to force him. I'm not grabbing him. I'm not squeezing his foot. I'm just holding his foot, messing with it a little bit, and then I let go. I make it very good for him, okay? And I give him lots of other scratches along the way. I even like to put my hand down all the way to his toe. Then I message it, and then I message with little paws. There you go, what a good boy. So that's how you can start with desensitizing. You can start desensitizing your older dogs, younger dogs, doesn't matter. Just starting them off with those first, starting with the front paws and then working your way to the back paws. Yes, good boy. Now we have to bring in the equipment for the work. So, down. Thank you. So you have a couple of tools that you can use for trimming. You have your regular nail trimmers. Now these are tiny. I'm not actually going to be using this on him because he doesn't need a nail trim today. But you have your nail trimmers that has a little back to stop. Okay, some people are more comfortable with using these, some aren't. There are videos on how to actually use these things, but desensitizing your dog to them is just letting him understand what it is, because it is scary, it makes noises. So I'm gonna let Sandor smell it. Good job, so he's investigating it. Good job, good. He's like, oh, can I eat it? You cannot eat it. Oh, we're gonna lick it, okay. So then I'm gonna move it around him so he understands we're not cuddling. He wants to cuddle. I'm gonna move it around him, move it around his body, especially near his toes. Get him used to that. I'll grab him a little bit, touching it. I know it still looks funny, but this is generally how you do it. He's still trying, he's still pulling his toes away from me slightly, but as you can see, I'm not actually doing anything. I'm just getting him used to this part touching his toes. Okay, then he gets used to the sound. I'm not actually doing it, I'm just doing it near him. Good job, good job, good job, good job. And if you're like me, I like to do one toe at a time, okay? If I can get more into a session, I will, but I don't overly stress my dog out, because then it becomes a negative experience with them, okay? So I might just do one. I got one within the hour. I might try it like 2 hours later and try to get the second one. Good. Like I said, there are videos on how to use these clippers. That will be a separate one. Another tool that you guys can use is the Dremel. I personally like using the Dremel over the clippers just because I generally can't always see the quick, which is the part of the dog's toe that can bleed if you do it. So the Dremel, it's a grinding tool, okay? It does help shape their toes very well, but it does make a lot of noise, okay? It can be scary for a dog. It's vibrating, they don't really understand. So what I do is, again, I bring it up to Sandor, I let him smell it. He's like, oh, I know what that thing is. Then I'm going to move it all over his body, near his toes. Okay, it's not on, it's just this. desensitizing him to it. He doesn't really care. Now I'm gonna turn it on. Now I'm gonna put near his toes. Oh, we got a reaction on that. He's like, what was that, Mom? Down, down? No, we're not running away. See, even him, who I have done his toes, he's 7 years old, I've done his toes forever, he still doesn't even like having his toenails done. But we work with it, okay? It's part of his life. So, he's trying to hide his toes from me. Now, here's the perfect example. My dog's hiding his toes from me. I could force him. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get him on this side. I'm just gonna grab his toe. I'm not gonna turn this into a thing of, you know, an emotion. Don't get emotional when trying to do this, okay? You get emotional, they get emotional. I turn it on, and now I'm not even gonna actually touch it. I'm just touching it like this. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Even the best trained dogs don't like having your toenails touched. That's okay. Good boy. Good boy. Well done. Nice job. Nice job. Nice job. Yes. Oh, okay. So he wants me to continue. So again, you're just going to take their paws. Now I will correct him when he's getting a little bit too much for me because he knows better. Again, this has been years of training. So then I actually turn it on. Nice pose, little paw. Done. Now I'm not going to go through the whole process because I don't need to. But that is another way that you can do it, the Dremel. And then this is very important. I like this stuff. It's I can't pronounce it, but pretty much powder to if you do cut their toes, you can stop the bleeding with this stuff. It's very good because toes and ears on dogs bleed a lot, and it will just create a big mess. But having powder to get it to stop is wonderful. So these are the tools that you can use to help desensitize your pup to having their toenails touched. The younger you start them, the better, but older dogs can learn old tricks too. Remember, patience is key and not getting overly emotional and doing it in very short little sessions. I hope this training tip helps, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Say bye, Sandor. He's over me.